Well,
Yes, it is.
8.1, 6:45 Lagos. Join the conversation.
Yes.
094440981 WhatsApp. So send a message to 0809 or use the hashtag on Twitter Business Express 981.
Thank you. Best business show on radio in all of Nigeria.
Yes, it is.
We need to go over
bragging rights.
Yes. This, we're wondering if I mean, it's just we don't know. So continue.
Yeah or nay?
I mean, well, yeah, for yesterday. Going forward, we'll have to see how it happens. So slight appreciation yesterday, 0.4%. We're at 36,947 points. Still 21 losers, as Thanos would say, balanced.
Yeah.
Japal, I don't even want to talk about this stock, but they were the top gainer yesterday, 9% up. Orlando was the top loser, down by 9%. Trying to jump in, will it possibly fall this week? It was up. The GT was up by about 5% yesterday, so it's about 40 naira right now. Zenith was also up as well. The banking index was up. It led the other sectors, 1.6% appreciation. Oil and gas was also up by marginally 0.3%. Insurance, which has led the way the last couple of weeks, that was down. So was consumer goods. So if you're also interested in getting an ETF or something that exposes you to the sectors, you can also consider doing that if you want to hop in there. All right, but yeah, we're 363 naira to the dollar on the parallel market. So again, it's just one day. We'll have to see how trading goes this day and whether or not the market will dip back into a negative space. Bunmi, we're going to help people today. You guys, I listen to your feedback at your service on Business Express. A lot of people have, not a lot of people, but if you're like, hey, look, can you help break down our recap of the week? Yes, by popular demand. Yes.
So usually on the money market side, I talk about opening liquidity and where liquidity closed.
Yes.
When we say liquidity, we're talking about the opening balance.
Yes.
Each bank, as you have a current account and you have an opening balance, or savings account, you have an opening balance. So do banks. Banks have accounts warehouse with CBN.
Right.
So they usually have opening balances. It also comprises of the monies placed with CBN, and then gives you an idea of
the liquidity in the system,
which is what banks trade between each other. So banks that have liquidity trade with banks that do not have liquidity to. At least,
so if I'm a bank and you're a bank, I need some money from you, and I'll borrow it from you, right?
Borrow from me at an interest rate, probably in exchange for securities.
Right, and that's also where the open buyback and
open buyback and overnight
rates, the cost of that. Right, exactly, perfect. Okay. What about maturities?
So, we always say CBN mops up liquidity.
Yes.
OM means open
market operations. Yeah.
So in other words, CBN is selling securities in exchange for your cash.
Right.
So they give you securities and take your cash. The securities they give you are T-bills or bonds, which have maturity dates. So say, for instance, CBN mops up liquidity today and issues you an OMO bill maturing, say, 18th of September.
Right.
On the 18th of September, which is usually, the maturities are usually on Thursdays.
Right.
That money will come back into the system. So the CBN will then give you back your cash with interest if you agree to take your interest back in.
Right.
Or you could have taken your interest upfront at the beginning of the tenure of the instrument. So the liquidity will come back into the system as OMO repayments, which is when I say money that's come back into the system.
That's the inflow. So perfect. So assuming four of us in the studio, Valentine, Inse, myself, you, if we are representing Nigeria and the CBN is selling back to us, if liquidity is in just this studio, when they pay that back on the 18th of September at the maturity, that's the inflow coming back, right? So there's one particular person that keeps asking me this. So I hope you're tuning in. That's what it means by the maturity coming back into the system.
And then one more thing. I think I use PMA and NTB interchangeably. PMA means primary market auction.
Okay.
And NTB is Nigerian Treasury bills. I usually put auction at the end.
Okay.
I use it interchangeably.
Right.
That's the auction that happens every 2 weeks on Wednesdays.
Okay.
It's different from the OMO.
And again, they are doing that to drain liquidity from the system, because they're taking. Well, when they auction these things, we are the ones that are partaking in these auctions.
So money leaves the system, but it's not for the PMA and the NTB. It's not an instrument for mopping up. It's an instrument for getting money through the DMO for the federal government.
I hope that explanation worked. But hey, look, if it didn't, please ask again. We'll do it again. We're here for you guys out there.
He has a question though. Sorry, before you continue, Bunmi. How is liquidity measured?
Okay, well, you just
want data. You would see.
You find it.
You would find all the details.
Okay, thank you.
They publish it every day.
And the CBN website is cenbank.org. CENBANK.org.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So how did we look last week?
Okay. So I'll
now
use
exactly
my
now
terms.
you can blow your terms all over the place.
Okay, so liquidity opened in a positive of 294 billion, closed also in a higher positive of about 450 billion. Inflows into the system included 206 billion for OMO maturities, coupon payments of about 16 billion,
Okay.
bond maturity of about 302 billion, and a balance from the NTB option of about 50 billion.
Okay.
CBN, as usual, to mop up the liquidity, they were able to take out about 736 billion. CRR took about 29.21 billion.
Just so you know how we are with acronym, CRR is the cash reserve ratio, right? Which is the amount of money banks are supposed to hold.
Yes.
In case
With
of any.
CBN, it's a percentage of their deposits.
Right.
It's actually 22.5%.
So 22 naira out of every 100 naira
is taken and held by the CBN.
Held by the CBN. Thank you. All right, keep going.
Okay.
Finance 101 today. Okay, keep going.
I love it.
And then wholesale auctions.
Yeah.
CBN took out about 90 billion, the equivalent of
All right.
This week we have 215 billion maturing on Thursday. We anticipate that CBN will
more. So likewise today, just you and I. Let's do it. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So T-bills markings were bullish initially because of the liquidity, but turned very for the I expect that this will continue
this week. Yeah.
This week as well. Yeah.
May was a bad month for stocks, just bad month. But it was my dad's birthday in May, so May was good.
Happy birthday, guys.
We have another. Okay, we have another question. Someone is asking, you should add your name to this. What is liquidity all about? We've already went over that. Yeah. Again, it's the money market.
I'm going for that. They put a definition to him.
Nice. So. Valentine is putting the definition in WhatsApp. Nice one. Also, watch the video if you watch our YouTube.
Exactly.
Video all over, and we spending everything.
YouTube.com/smooth91fm.
All right.
And sorry, Rainmaker has this message here. It says the government savings bonds rate for this month went up for this month, but I think will have marginal effects on the equity market. Rotus, there'll also be a rally in the tier 1 banks and NB. Okay. And note by the 3rd week of June, so as to take a position for interim dividend.
Okay.
For me, I still expect a negative on the market generally.
All right, Rainmaker. I love that name. If you watch Looper, the movie Looper, the Rainmaker, very popular character. All right, go ahead with me.
So just to explain the interplay between the markets, usually I talk about 3 markets: the money market, which comprises of the OBB and overnight rates, the FX, and then securities, which comprises of treasury bills and
bonds and so on. Yeah.
So right now, the market, as in the money market for Naira, has been pretty liquid. It's been liquid for about 2 weeks or so now. Basically because of the maturities that have hit the system, FAC, and then also
again, sorry, you know how it is. FAC is
Federal Account Allocation Committee,
right, which is the proceeds from oil to
the oil and other revenue
to the states.
Yes, they sit down and meet and decide how much they should share to states.
Sharing of the cake, yes. All right.
Usually 52 to 40%. The federal 52%,
and the states get
share 40%.
All right, cool. All right, keep going.
Okay, so all of that contributes to liquidity in the system, and we anticipate that liquidity will still persist in the money market. Why? Because of these maturities. There will be more maturities in the course of coming months. When Buhari eventually signs the budget, money is going to come in terms of payments to contractors and all whatnot.
Right.
These are already beginning to show some apathy because they've kept rates at that level, means NPR.
And by the way, just to help people, when you measure apathy, that's by the response to these options that they have, whether or not you and I go and actually participate and buy them. Right. Okay.
In the market, and why are they tightening? You know that this is moving on to the FX market.
FX now, okay.
Yes, you can you remember last week or about 2 weeks ago, we saw a spike in parallel market rates as well as
to like 366.
Yes,
right.
Exactly. Because when rates for FX increases, is because there's more demand for FX. Why is there more demand? Why is there more demand for FX? We witnessed that the foreign investors that had currently been in our markets were leaving. Some of them were leaving because the change in the direction of the CBN in terms of their posture from expansionary to tightening had made yields change direction, which had caused them to lose money. So some of them were exiting lost positions, probably to come back again. Also, the upcoming elections are making some of them
a little nervous
and maybe want to reduce their positions. We also gather that because elections are coming in, politicians are buying dollars,
in order to do what they do.
Exactly. So that's all putting pressure
on the FX market.
The FX. If you notice, the reserves dipped a bit because
reserves have gone down.
Try to keep on pumping in,
plug the gap,
supply into the market through the BDCs, through the official windows, just to. I think moving on to securities.
Yes.
the apathy that I
mentioned
earlier.
Yeah.
Is also due to the fact that for T-bills, for instance, the market is already saturated with maturities. So when the market is saturated with maturities and liquidity is not, as in you are selling bills, you're reducing liquidity in the money market. Eventually, people will begin to, at least traders will begin to sit back and say, I'm not going to keep on buying treasury bills at the risk of losing my short-term liquidity, which will eventually mean that I might have to take money in the baby market at higher rates because liquidity is stifled there. Also, if you keep MPR at 14%, but OBO is at 12.15, it signals to the market that you are eventually going to increase rates, and then you don't believe that 12.15
is where it's supposed
to be.
Okay.
So why would I keep on buying instruments if there's a likelihood that interest rates or yields in the securities market are going to go up? So that's about it.
All right, thank you so much, Bunmi.
Bunmi, that's why she's called the money buff.
All right, Henry Manuel sent a message. It says, hope people understand the value of what you guys are doing. It took me so much effort to understand how these things work, even after my degree in accounting and ICANN.
Henry, we appreciate you as a
listener. IK says, why sudden increase in normal frequency?
Mopping up, Abi.
All
right, somebody else. Benga come ask this question. Say, how come events in the political sphere will have little impacts on the stock exchange in Nigeria, but it does in other climes?
Benga, that's a long story. It does actually, though, because
Grateful. He's sending this one from Marina. He says, today's Business Express show was my best ever. I would listen to it or watch it again on YouTube.
Wow, thank you.
All right,
thank you.
Guys.
For me, that's because of you.
Go to youtube.com/smooth. After that, 7:30, detailed analysis and newspaper stories inside of Freshly Pressed. Good morning.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been getting